Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to check out Death's Door. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, like I said, we are checking out Death's Door. It is a newer game. It came out a few months ago, and I saw this over the period that I was sick. It's been a while. You guys have probably seen the channel. I haven't put out a video, and I put out the Pokemon one last week, or whenever it is I uploaded it. I can't even remember. But I've been sick for a while, and I'm still losing my voice in and out, so bear with me, guys. Jumping right into the Death's Door. The story for Death's Door is very simple. You play as a Reaper Crow just starting out on the job, and your job is to go find those, those souls that are ready to pass on to the next life and bring them to Death's Door. But the problem is Death's Door is closed because basically nobody is doing their job. You get to your little station there and you literally see 2 people plus 1 big fat crow, and that's it. Everyone else is either left, abandoned, got fired, whatever it is. And so you're going out to try to do your job to reap these souls to bring them over to the next life, and you find out that Death's Door is closed, and the only way to open it is with, I want to say they called them large souls or large lord souls, something like that. And there's 3 of them, and you need these 3 to open up Death's Door so that you can continue the cycle, because these big lords and a lot of these other people have been living for a long time. They've been cheating death, and so it's disrupting the balance of everything, of life and death that's going on. It's touching on some bigger concepts, but I actually really like it. It's very simple. You starting out at this crow, you got your little sword, and you're going through and you're just killing all these bad guys, and you're trying to find the Lord Souls. There's 3 bosses, like I said, to open that door. There's like this older lady. I'm drawing a blank on her name. You got the King Frog, and then you got Betty, the big old friggin' Yeti type boss fight. Within this story, you meet a lot of very interesting characters. There's like a dude with like a squid tied to his back, and you meet this dude that's got like a tombstone fur face. And my personal favorite was Pothead, who was experimented on by the old lady and accidentally turned his head into a pot that's got soup in it. So very funny characters, kind of cool looking characters. I don't know, it's just I really am enjoying like the art style and everything about this game and the story. Talking about the combat now, for me the combat probably is one of the weaker aspects of this game. First of all, it's very simple. You got like your light attack, your heavy attack, and you got a very 4 spells, technically 3. You got like your energy arrow, fireball, a bomb, and then your 4th one technically isn't like an attack, but it's like a green grapple chain that you can whip out. So, but the thing that's, I would say, weak is because it's hard to use these 2 together. Most of the time you used your magic spells for like the puzzles. There's various puzzles or ways that you have to unlock something. You see a item off in the distance, or you see a lever that you need to pull, and you have to kind of figure out this puzzle to open the gate or drop down to a ledge. It's things like that. And I feel like that the magic abilities were really used for that. You could use them in battle, but especially like with the boss fights, every time I tried to charge up a fireball or the bomb, the boss literally, it would like trigger the boss and they would jump and attack you. So yes, you would still hit them, but at the cost of losing one of your lives, because you could only get hit 4 times, at the max 6 if you find all of the shards to level up. I only found 5 on my initial playthrough. I just feel like the combat was really missing something. I don't know if it's like a parry or maybe a better integration of using both of the magic and your sword or your combat, because you can get like a hammer, and I got the cool sword, the big blue sword, together, and it just didn't feel like it was, I don't know, I just kind of felt like I was missing something the entire time I was playing it. Definitely one of the weaker aspects for me personally. And then also there's a large variety of enemies within the game. Each area kind of has like its familiar enemies that you see, plus some new ones or different variations of the 2. So there's lots of different enemy types. You got your guys that jumping at you, some arrow guys, and then there's kind of mini bosses scattered throughout the game. Some that actually are I would say harder than some of the main bosses in the game. Moving on now, guys, to the level design. I felt like Death's Door had a fantastic level design. It was very simple, but it reminded me actually of Dark Souls, where like Dark Souls map is literally all interconnected and, you know, one big loop kind of thing. Or not loop, but like everything's connected. It's not quite on the level of Dark Souls. Actually, it's not on the level of Dark Souls at all. But all the areas are connected together, which is kind of cool. And you could start out, you know, going over here to the Queen's area, and then you move back over, and then you can go all to the other side and go through the swamp, go through the graveyard. The only thing that's not really connected is like your hub area, which is through one of the doors, and you're like in this different gray dimension kind of thing. But I really like the level design. There was nothing really that was like a set piece where you sat back and you're like, wow, that looks really good. But kind of talking about that, the like graphics for this game were so they were I was blown away by how incredibly polished this game looked. There was no glitches or frame rate drops that I at least noticed on my playthrough, but just the game just flowed so well, and it looked so good. But like I said, there was no like set pieces that looked like that set back and you're like, wow, that looks really good, like in Ghost of Tsushima or, you know, some other games like that. But man, the level design, I just loved the way that the art style looked. It really gave me kind of like that. I'm a big From Software guy. It was kind of giving me a little bit of Dark Souls vibes or Hollow Knight vibes, and I really like that. Now talking about probably my favorite part of the whole game were the boss fights. Now there weren't very many, and I feel like that they're kind of varied in difficulty. You got like your old lady boss fight, which was the first big soul or large soul that you get to open Death's Door, and for me, I died like 20 times. I don't know why I was having such a difficult time. And then going over to like the next one was like the Frog King. I literally beat first try. It was just kind of weird. So some of them I felt like should have been like, you know, going up in difficulty. And I don't know if it's because like the combat was not quite there. I don't know. It just seemed like that the old lady was really hard. Or not really hard, but was harder. And then the Frog King was just like a pushover. I literally beat it first try. But I loved all the boss fights. I would have to say one of my favorite boss fights actually was this big old house that you fight like super early in the game. I don't know why, but I just loved the idea. It really reminded me of like Final Fantasy where you fight the house. But it was like a Victorian castle looking house. Had jetpacks and was shooting out spikes and missiles. My favorite boss fight was not particularly hard, but I just loved the way that it went, and it was a fun boss fight. Now overall, this game only took me about 10-ish hours to beat, so it's not very long, but don't let that, you know, deter you. This game was so fun. It was such a blast. I had so much fun, even though like the combat was not quite to par as like what I wanted it to be. Like I said, I just kind of felt like it was needing something. I don't know if it was like a parry or whatever, but overall, the boss fights were fun. The areas were fun. Story was fun. I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but I just had a blast with everything that was in the game, and I totally think that it is worth the asking price. Now, this game is on Game Pass, and I was originally going to buy this on my PlayStation 5, and when I was about to, I saw something on social media, and it was like, hey, Death's Door is coming to Xbox Game Pass. And when I looked at the date, it was like, oh, that's in literally like 4 days. So I waited and played for it for free. But I had so much fun that if you guys don't have an Xbox or Game Pass for PC or whatever, I still think it's worth the asking price. I believe when I looked at it on PlayStation Store, it was like $15, $20. It literally was not very much. This is an indie game made by 2 people. It literally blows my mind when you see these games that are made by, you know, 1 or 2 people that just looked so good and polished compared to some of like these big AAA games that come out janky and glitchy and not as good condition or polish as some of these like little tiny indie games come out with. Like some of these indie games, dude, are freaking bangers. The more I think about it, like the more I love this game. I just love everything about it. Let's go into my final thoughts, guys. Overall, this game was awesome, and if I were to give this a score out of 10, it would be a solid 8 for me, guys. Let me know if you guys have played Death's Door down in the comments below. What'd you guys think of it? For me, it's definitely a must play. If you guys have Game Pass, it's on there. Go download it, play it. If you don't have Game Pass, I would highly recommend just purchasing it, because after playing it, if I didn't have Xbox Game Pass or a PC or whatever, this would be one that I would recommend even buying on PlayStation if that's all you got. And that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. Let me know down below what you guys thought. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got tons more videos coming in the future, so you guys want to be up to date with those. And that's going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching and taking the time out of your day to watch this, and we'll catch you on the next one.